Hey people, on this installment of the Art Jam, we have a Ghostbusters theme. We're going to start with Slimer for a 3-minute sketch, and then we're going to go into 15-minute sketches with each member of the jam doing self-portrait in Ghostbuster uniform. We cover on Slimer, basic character, as basic as you can kind of get. He's a green amorphous blob, a couple eyes and a mouth, and as we discussed, he has a nose. Goes to the importance of reference. You think you know what a character looks like. You watch him, you see him every day, and you realize when you sit down to draw any given thing, how little you actually know about that thing unless you've drew on it over and over and over again. So, take something you deal with every day, a favorite cartoon character, an item, and sit, whether you're an artist or not, and try to draw that, and it gives you an appreciation for how important reference is. People claim swiping left and right, whatever it is, but you need something in front of you generally to know what that character or person or thing is going to look like. Even if you do know, it helps to have references for muscle groups and how things work. Because memory dilutes things, memory fades things. So don't be ashamed to pull up an image, to use it. You don't want to copy it. You want to maybe be inspired by a pose or a favorite artist, but you want to take it and exaggerate it and make it yours. And really utilize the basic information and then take it and make it more drastic. And we talk about the difference between a movie Slimer a little creepy, the cartoon Slimer adorably cute. And you saw that, I think, with our Ewoks on the Star Wars jam. Some were adorable and some were scary as all heck. We then go to the 15-minute Ghostbusters sketches where we do our self-portraits as Ghostbusters. Assad gets some important tips on the concept of researching anything you're doing, any project. So not just the looks of the characters, but even if you're just going for a job interview, you look into the company that you're applying for. And when you're applying to a literary agent, you know about them, you know what they specialize in, and we'll get into that. And Matt brings up a great point. At the end of the day, whether you're self-publishing, working for somebody in any business you're in, you got to spend money to make money. So we talk between time and monetary and effort, that if you're going to be successful with anything, it takes effort, and you got to be willing to put some money into it, to put some time into it, and to put an awful lot of work into it, because it doesn't necessarily come easy. So let's head down to the table. Okay.
What are we doing?
We're doing 3-minute sketches.
Nothing you need to worry about.
You don't need shit now. You guys can keep talking.
Alright, we're doing 3-minute sketches of Slimer. Ghostbusters.
So this is
timer.
Ready?
You can
Buzz.
slow down this whole
I got it.
Time.
Somebody's got it.
Time.
Go.
But
Oh, my leg
this
came
is
off.
all kind of just like visual things to help me.
He's got a nose. Which
Yes, he
think
does.
Yeah. Always led to want to think he got it.
I'm just gonna draw the kingpin with bad teeth.
It's not too different, except we got chubbier cheeks.
So was this just like inspiration as you're writing it?
The movie Slimer looks way more enraged than cartoon
And
Slimer.
the drawings
Well,
are like
yeah,
drawing
'cause
stuff.
it's
Movie
cartoon
Slimer,
The images of
Movie
the
Slimer
drawings
always kind of
don't have
horrified
anything to do with it.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just styles,
right,
but
because they
it's
try to use him in
totally
comic relief,
black
but he's
and
got
white.
those big,
Really
horrible.
pretty. So even
does
uh,
have
He's-
Jack's
Yeah.
star.
He's got a nose.
I love that show.
yeah.
I'm watching
that Time Warner cable.
the last episode on
The nurses
Friday.
arguing and
I'm gonna watch
on
last
the
episode.
devil baby. Really?
It's a comedy.
Such a good show.
That helps. Thank you.
I'm not a writer.
I needed that.
You didn't.
I'll-
you haven't watched it
I'll tell you
before?
the background
So
of that
then-
story
Yeah.
No.
when I'm
Oh,
done.
Like,
okay.
Don't ruin that. I just started it,
Oh man, you're in for
and I hate it. I
I was
think hate
gonna
it.
say,
What?
you were
I think
talking
that
crap
show.
about it. the
What
other
show?
day when I was
Sons of
at your
Anarchy.
house.
You have to. It's so good.
There are lots of things I have to say. I don't have time.
You know, but
There's
honestly,
lots of things
I
that are
went
so
into
good.
Sons
You
of
gotta-
Anarchy to like
pick the one that
watch
appeals
it.
to,
Like
your
I don't
area
think I would
interest.
like it, and everybody said it, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch the pilot just so I can be like, I tried it and I hated it, and
It's Hamlet. You know that, right?
yeah,
I
of
didn't-
course it is.
I didn't know that.
Well, I assumed it was gonna be a terrible show as well. I was like, oh, a bunch of freaking
You were gonna
bikers.
hate
I
watch it.
can't relate to any
That's
of
funny.
it. I don't like any of that stuff.
That's an interesting point too. My friends who do watch it say their problem with it is there's no likable characters.
And yeah, and it's not.
Like they were
It's not
like
believable.
good.
That's how I
How can
feel
you
about
not
this.
like
real
Ron Burgundy?
protagonist.
That's how I feel about this table.
And And it
There's
is
no
difficult.
likable character.
It is difficult to watch.
It was
Or
super likable
I had to
character.
like 3 minutes.
I'm a nice
Um,
guy.
53
You say that all
seconds.
the time.
Pete, I am definitely likable.
Is this just because I said I was going to burn down your house if you did that to Bucky?
No more life, Eldon.
Yeah.
And now
I love
the
that
truth,
as
the
a
truth is
verb.
revealed.
Wait, and
It was
he
with
responded
love
to
that
who?
he said
To
that.
whom did he respond?
Wait, you don't like Jax?
Somebody
Buddy.
put that. It was
Buddy.
you.
No.
Oh, it's Buddy.
Buddy's
Buddy.
ours.
That's right. Buddy's friend. That's amusing. I have to appreciate that. He was at Comic
It's
Con.
fascinating
Line
story.
was out the
Do
flipping
you
door.
like it?
Yeah, I do.
It's that Deadpool moment.
Thanks.
People are still into him.
It's that Deadpool moment.
Yeah, so I was thinking about doing it as like a series of graphic novels. And then I was talking to Buddy about, like he said that he writes 24-page comics. Is 24 pages really standard? Or
Yeah,
22.
22
with a
yeah.
cover and a back.
So he was trying to help me because I don't
That
know
is
this
really
format,
nice
so
there.
he was
Damn
like
you.
telling me
For not even knowing he has a nose.
pace it out, how like certain things you want, even number of pages.
Yes,
or, like,
because you flipped the
tabs.
page.
Yeah.
For some
Yeah,
reason,
that
I
was
always do
good.
like
Like
30
a
space.
little
The first one he's
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
32, and I always do
That is
30.
Oh yeah, I do this actually
Yeah,
far apart
Yes,
in the dark.
but it's the difference between
It was
mainstream
really nice
and
watching.
doing whatever the hell you want.
Alright, we're getting ready to do 15-minute self-portraits.
It's him.
What the?
Cut! Put your pants back in and zip it up. 15-minute Ghostbuster sketches, Pete Sevick.
Eric Bryan.
Bonesdale.
Jen.
Assad.
Russell.
Ryan. Matt Boskus.
And we're doing 15-minute Ghostbuster self-portraits. Fire away. Timer.
Oh, I just want
What?
to. Hold
Oh,
on, I
can
got
we
this.
still talk?
Yeah, we can go back to that.
Alright, go.
Alright.
But they don't want to see that you've put out a bunch of stuff that didn't sell out.
Right.
Which makes sense, but I think it's because they think it's more a
I'm pretending to look busy.
I don't know.
Well, keep the noise level down.
I don't think he,
Yeah, I don't
He's lying,
really,
that's how he actually types his
but you know
stories.
what? I think it's because there's still a stigma. I think that it's because there's still that divide between the people who self-publish prose and the people who go through literary agents and actually
Right.
publish
There
comics.
definitely.
It still exists, and I think in comic books we broke down that wall a long time ago.
Yeah.
Really, you helped.
Me, it was me.
It was you alone.
Look,
The
Todd
table,
McFarlane
you
came to me and he said, Ross, I'm really sick and tired of Marvel. What should I do? And you know what I said to him? I said,
I said,
I've got an image in my
I know-
mind.
You know what I said?
I said to him, I said, Todd, you know what? I said, Tom, I
So
said,
that was
Spider-Man's
something-
never
'cause
gonna
I'm
go
trying to
anywhere.
think of
Go
right
on.
now. I have
Spider-Man's a fan.
been, I've been working
Don't waste your
on
time.
my
Did you call
craft,
Spider-Man?
and I've made some really strong connections, and I have, some,
He's here today.
like I have some literary
talking
agents
about
who
me?
now know who I am, and they've started following me on Twitter,
Wait,
which is
what?
like really nerve
So she has
wracking.
strong connection.
And
It's
so I'm trying to
someone's
figure
about
out
me.
She
like,
knows people.
should I? Some of them represent graphic novels, and so that's where I'm kind of like stuck. Whereas, like, do I try to pitch this concept to them? What they want to see for that is, X amount of panels, some concept art, and then a script for the first thing. Do I try to pitch it like that with these connections that I have and see if it goes? But then, like, I don't really know where a traditional graphic novel, like, where that's supported. I don't know that side of the industry.
Well, I emailed an agent not so long ago, and it turned into her just venting to me about how busy she is. So
Why did you email her?
I was
Like, you were querying her?
Yeah, I was just getting an inquiry.
And it was a secret
But were you,
agent.
like,
It wasn't even
actually
literary.
sending you were just emailing her, like, to
That's not
ask
true.
a question?
Yeah, I was just
He
like.
found her
getting
on
some-
Tinder.
What was your?
What did you say?
Yeah.
Well,
What did you say? 'Cause I think
Did you spell check?
Alright, I'm gonna stop Russ's
He's so
friend.
young.
I didn't even get a chance to tell my story.
Tell your story.
You're
So you emailed her and you were like, will you publish me?
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Yeah, that's why she hates you.
What?
No, I'm kidding. That's
Probably
not
on
how
top
it
of
went.
He's not kidding, he's backpedaling.
I,
Did you?
On her
Did you
side.
send
whoever
her?
He basically did. It sounds like the literary equivalent to that.
sending her a no. I just.
Okay, what'd you write? Seriously, Seriously.
Like I just sent my bio and my book, and I was like, hey, I'm looking for representation, just getting an inquiry. And
So did you follow
How'd
the
you spell
format
inquiry?
that she said on her website?
No, I'm serious.
I inquiry. That's all.
I am query.
Sounds like a Batman gang.
And then she wrote back and was just like,
Well, she was just
What
like,
did you do? Google literary agent, and she was the top like thing. How
no.
did you find this person?
There's a website that has a whole bunch of literary agents.
It's
listed.
called Tinder. If she wants to.
No, it's
You need to see but these are important questions
yeah.
because you sound like an idiot.
Because we just.
I do that no matter what. I don't have my book with me. I have a book where I write down all the contact stuff. But anywho, I found this person.
and you made sure that she totally represents and has sales in your genre. And you looked at her list to make sure she wasn't already representing somebody.
Totally.
Whoa,
And
what's
so-
the genre? What's sales for that matter?
I didn't do any of that stuff, Peter. I just sent
Did you
her a
make
message.
sure
Wait,
she
does she
represented
represent comic
comics?
books? Yeah, does she represent comic book writers?
Apparently not. That was the whole point of the story.
Oh, I thought it was that she was busy.
Right,
Well,
I thought
I
it was
was
that.
getting to
I
that.
thought you were trying to give me advice
Is she
about
a-
you.
No, I wasn't giving you advice.
He's not
I was
going,
just-
he
I
will
was
never
just-
give you advice.
I was just telling you a sad story about my life. There was no
That's
advice.
redundant.
There was no lesson.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna
Wait,
get.
hold on. Wait, so, is she at a firm or is it just like a name at yahoo.com? What would, like,
Her personal
You don't
email.
even know.
no, but I mean, like, is she an is it her name at firmname.com or?
Gosh, I don't remember the process I went through.
Whoever she is.
He's done it so many times.
Craigslist.
So he just typed a series of letters
In the
into
casual
his
encounters.
and hit send and got like this really pissy old lady.
This conversation just went so wrong so fast.
Whoever she is, we're on her side.
You should ask permission before
By
you do
default.
things.
I should ask what?
Permission before you do things.
Like, what do you mean to her?
No, it's
to
us.
me.
Oh.
Yes. Peter,
So,
somebody.
if you-
Well,
In the
we
future.
decided a while ago that Jesse should do all my talking for me, but he's never around.
Well, that's talking. This is writing.
Oh.
So what I was referring to was that actually querying an agent.
I was
That
talking about the time I
represents-
spoke to one.
Oh, okay.
That was what I was trying to get to.
So anyway, I'm trying to figure
It's a
out
story that he tells.
if I should try to do that because that's where the connections are, or if I should try. And I was talking to Buddy about this a lot, and I was trying to talk to him, but he's like, I don't really use Kickstarter because I was like, why would you self-fund versus Kickstarter? Like, it just seems like before I move forward, I have to figure out.
Here's the advice I'll give you. Exploit your strengths.
Mhm.
So whatever the strength, whatever your greatest strength is
Mhm.
in this situation, that's what you want to exploit. Because I think that's going to be, it's going to provide the path of least resistance, and it's probably going
Right.
to yield the best results.
Wait, it sounded like an old kung fu master.
Yeah.
Not really help at all.
No, but I mean, because if you're looking for traction, if you're looking for
Mhm.
momentum, then that's the way. So if this agent deals in graphic novels, and this is the agent who's giving you the most attention and who's giving you the most enthusiasm, then that's probably the route you want to go. I mean,
My only
but that's where
concern.
I'm sitting.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. But then my other concern, and I talked to Pete about this a little bit the first time I was here, was that the attraction I'm getting is as a contemporary new adult and young adult author, and I'm really concerned about muddying the waters if I then am pitching horror.
Do it under a different name.
Really?
Well,
This guy.
but I mean, if I'm exploiting the context that I have as this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's you as an individual, not necessarily you as the author. It's not like. In theory, if they like, in theory, this agent who's excited about this potential graphic novel, they're interested in the story and not as you as the author. So it shouldn't matter whose name goes on it.
A good shot.
In theory.
Yeah,
So
I
if
don't have
you
a reference
have-
for.
So
These-
you have an
these pictures are all the
established
same.
brand in prose, in young adult prose, and you
Make
don't
it
want
up.
to dilute that,
Can't do
then
that.
you go with a different
Why not?
name.
That
for
requires
the
imagination.
graphic
I don't.
novel. If that's a
Oh, you
viable
know, Buzz
option, which
Ghosts
I
are
don't
not
see,
real.
which is something that you would have to talk to that agent about.
Right.
Because I think what you're saying is a completely legitimate concern. and this agent should be understanding of that, and again, shouldn't care what name gets put on the book.
Right.
Because unless you have some body of history that they're trying to exploit, or that, then it shouldn't matter.
Right.
You know, so like if J.K. Rowling was going to do a graphic novel,
So I'm gonna-
something
graphic novel.
of horror,
A horror grab.
then that agent wants
I found
to have
Harry Potter
her
pretty
name on
horrifying.
it,
Right.
so that they can bring her audience with her.
Yeah.
Right.
Like from the
But
maker of
if-
Harry Potter.
But if you go back to before Harry Potter
Hilarious
came
new
out,
comedy
and she
about-
doesn't have that body yet, but she still knows that she wants to because she's been talking to people about it, and you know the gears are moving on that, but it just hasn't launched yet, and she wants to preserve that, and now she wants to do this graphic novel, different name. So I mean,
Makes sense.
Why don't you do a webcomic? Something that you can build heat off of and get people to follow off the internet, and then they'll want you to print it and maybe fund you after they see what you've got out there on the web.
That's a good
Yeah,
way to build
digital-
an audience. Yeah.
Digital printing, digital webcomics are, you want to spend you want to spend as least amount of money initially, because you don't want to put yourself in a hole. What's it, you know?
well,
Start
that's
sounding-
and that's the other
I'm not doubting your quality of writing or anything, but if it's a flop, and you're gonna put, you know, probably $10,000 out there to put a book out there, a graphic novel.
God, 10,000.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
wish
Whatever. Mr. Politician.
you gotta know how to sell.
So just, you know, something that you have to give before you get.
Right.
You know, and
Use
that's-
this heavily.
you know,
Yeah, I could say.
I met the greatest because I've been
That is
selling
the
places
fattest
for a long
Ghostbuster.
time.
Oh, it's you! It's you! That's
I'm
awesome.
Jack Kirby.
It's
back
fun.
in
I thought
the
you
day.
said
I don't know if
something.
you
Oh,
heard
Wait,
me.
let me see it. That's you.
It's good. That's actually
It
really
came
I need to
out
see
over
it.
that.
Oh wow, we
So,
have 5
I
if
need
you're not
to
going to
see
be
it.
willing to give, you're not going to get nothing.
That's
Right.
awesome.
Who's
Yeah.
drawing? Okay, have you even
And
gotten
it
to
says
that point
butt
yet
on the
where you're thinking of an art of an art team? Have you even gotten to that point yet?
Not like hardcore. I mean, we've talked about like
Eric
I
said
talked
he'll
about
do
with
it.
Brian.
And you even talk about
And,
Patreon.
I've stopped saying.
He has
Yeah,
no
stop saying you'll do
he
that.
has no limitation to the amount of projects.
Yeah,
he
Eric
can
is off limits to you for the foreseeable future.
Why?
I
I've
haven't,
claimed
I'm
like-
gonna do the stuff I said I'll do.
No, he's not.
But I haven't like
Because
sat
you've
down with
committed,
him
like,
and
8
really
years
been
worth of
like,
work.
okay,
Because
this
you need to
is
figure out, because you need to really decide if you want to do
I didn't commit 8
because
years
I'm
worth
trying
of work.
because I feel like
Committed
if I'm
like
gonna
half
do
his
it,
life.
And
I
some
feel like-
prints.
Yes.
what I
We-
would really
we
like is like
talked
a
about-
partner,
Yeah, that's not what you
collaborator,
told
and
us.
somebody that
The
I can work with
collectors,
long
but I'm-
term
like
that
I-
I
I'm
can
not gonna
build a
protect
team
you.
with.
I'm not
And
sign off
so
on it.
that's all tied
Because
into like
that's-
where I'm trying to figure out what kind of
sounds
form
huge.
because I sit down and I'm
No,
like,
no,
So,
no.
that's
Brian,
Brian, draw this graphic
Brian's
novel
the one
for me.
who's gonna be
if
doing
I'm
the
thinking,
protectors,
is it
yeah.
gonna be
Do you know about this,
24? Is
Ryan?
it gonna be 24
Yeah,
pages?
yep. So you
So
still
I
have,
feel like I
I got
have
some-
more
I got
work to
some,
do before I can
research for you to
honestly
do, too.
expect.
somebody.
All
to do
right,
something.
perfect.
No, and you're right.
Go read
So
Green
I'm
Lantern
just trying to
Circle
do
of
it.
Fire.
I'm trying to
The whole
research
thing.
the markets and all this stuff.
Where did I get that
Because
from?
I make, you know, I make my
The
living
comic
off
book store.
You just want me to
freelancing
spend my
as a
money?
writer, and so
Download
A comic book?
I'm
Who would do
very
that?
aware of the business side of things. And
I don't have money to just
you know,
blow on things.
How many times you see your
Pros sells.
Exactly, like that.
That would have bought
That's
the whole
just-
first thing. That's true. I think I spent
And
like.
I think, you know,
Well,
if you're
five
if you're taking a
times.
look at
Like,
best-selling
I was like at some point I
graphic
was
novel
like, this is
of the
actually
year,
starting
it's
to show
sold
up on my bank.
30,000
Like, I
copies.
Well, if it costs $12,
Now,
I'm
to be
thinking
fair,
yourself 5
30,000
times, spend
copies
6
I done watched a lot of
That's
windshields
bestseller.
with Siege of Ultron
But
once.
that's the best-selling.
I had to sell my body.
So,
I got negative money.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
not,
say.
when I say I'm looking at the business side, I'm not looking at like, I want to make the biggest profit.
No, Pete, I have a
Possible.
genius plan. It's just
Because
gonna
I
take
write
time for it all
because
to happen.
I can't not write. Like, that's
What are
not
you
an
talking
option.
about now?
So I feel really
Protect
passionate about it.
yourself.
And for this particular project, I feel
future.
really passionate
It
that it
is.
would
You gotta make
translate
sure
best in a more visual medium.
the route
So
you
that's
take
why I'm
hasn't been
researching
done.
that.
A lot of
But I
people
don't
have
wanna
done
go
superheroes a lot of
in,
times. But
you know,
yours
having
sounds-
awareness of
there's some stuff
cost
I haven't heard
and
of
risk
before, so-
and all kinds of stuff, and knowing
Well,
how many years
if
I've
I
devoted
can't
to an
approach it from a
impact of
unique angle
writing,
or a different
like, long
angle, then I
form,
gotta keep thinking if
I don't
can.
want to come in
Just to make sure,
cavalier and
you
be
know,
like,
it says
well,
it's done.
I
All right,
can do
I'll
this
tell you about
because
Circle.
I write a book, so obviously how
it
hard
is,
this
it
what I
is a
remember.
different medium.
Exactly.
Basic story is not important.
So I'm really
Green
trying to
Lantern
understand
finds
the
himself
science
all alone
behind
against this
that,
bad
and then how
guy.
to
The
do
rest of
that
Justice League
well,
got taken out.
and
So
where I would fit. in the
magically, a
universe.
bunch of other Green Lanterns show up.
And,
No, he's got
Good luck.
Why would you bother learning any of that?
Yeah.
Assad didn't. He's already got a copy.
That's true.
That's true.
Assad learned nothing.
And he's getting hate mail from agents.
Come
Yeah.
on.
And
So-
restraining orders.
Yes, that is true.
You should start a collection of
Um,
agent restraining orders.
Oh.
I learned what I needed to learn.
No.
And it
no,
took-
he didn't.
Months of discipline and training.
That's not true. He learned like this much of what he needed to learn.
well, there
He
is
just
something
jumped
to be
in
said
like
by
Stan
trial
Lee
by
style.
fire.
I like
I
it.
wrote my first novel, and I actually tried to sell it, and it was
Wasn't he like 19 or something? He was just
130,000
like-
words, which
he was
is
writing for all
like,
kinds of stuff.
if nobody will.
Is that a lot?
that's a
For
lot.
a,
Typically, a debut
Fine.
novel is between like
Yeah.
70
He just
and
brought his
85,
nephew
because
in
the
to
more
write
you
some
those
that was my
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
screenplay.
Hey, you wanna write
Screenplays
some-
are 90
wanna write a
pages.
story?
My first
Yeah,
one was
Captain America number
240.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was a little bit
Because it's a
over.
page, it's
created
like a
Red
page
Skull,
a minute,
so-
right? Isn't that
Yes.
how it
That was
works?
his
Yeah.
first
My friend
character
is
that
a
he created.
screenwriter,
Okay.
But him and Jack
and
Kirby worked
Yeah.
together.
so
I've watched so many.
yeah, like my
documentaries
first
of
thing, my first novel
Like,
was
I
like
owned a Kirby page.
I didn't even I got everything I got back on it was
Stanley's
like
handwriting was like, alright, Thor explains Asgard.
rejections, and
Kirby
I didn't
would,
even
like,
get so
draw
nobody
the
even
whole,
cared enough to write
like,
back how
Thor
bad I
and
sucked.
Asgard behind
But that
him
may
and
have been
everything,
because I still
so,
followed the
I don't know,
appropriate
man, who
guidelines
created
of
what,
submitting.
you know,
But
He
I queried
seems
why
like an
and it
idea
was
man.
awful,
Assad
and so I mean I do think there is something to be said
Wait,
for
what?
It couldn't be that he's just
For
like
what?
lucky.
for jumping right in.
The whole
Just
thing
happened-
is new.
He happened to team up with.
I
the
think
people
there's so many
who made
different things going on
Legendary.
at once. My name's over here.
Some of it was
then I'm in
him.
a conversation.
I was just
And
trying to
he
say
must
that's
have
has
the
at the same
worst
show,
thing you could do.
92.
Oh,
I
just
mean,
jump
the
over
agent
them.
thing
Well, no, the
was.
worst thing you
And
could
I
have done
love
was
Kirby.
nothing.
Kirby's my
That
idol.
would have been
That's
the
what
worst
I'm
thing.
saying.
That would
True.
have been the worst thing.
I support
It's
the
true. Oh, we-
creation,
you know,
however
see,
wrong it
I don't want
is.
to talk
Nothing.
Okay, that's
What
fine.
Assad
I didn't
did,
mention another
and
one
then
that
actually
is,
putting in real effort. I think that's the.
Oh,
That's correct.
Yeah.
I
Stanley
think
was
we're on
a good
the
I was just trying
Kickstarter
to be
going.
supportive.
Stanley's got
Thank you.
charisma.
You know what?
Yeah,
I don't
he's
get
like
enough
Hugh
support
Hefner.
in this group.
You're
right
better.
now.
I'm
No,
not
no, no, no.
Stanley,
We are your
Arcane.
crucible.
That's
That's
true.
why.
I get plenty of support, but I also get a lot of like.
The other guys
you
don't work for
have to
us.
do like
Yeah.
tough love. That's the
Those
word.
guys
Tough
are
love.
the
How do you get a
It's
good,
true.
you know, how
It's
do you
like
get a
Jobs,
sharp
Steve Jobs.
sword? It needs to be
well,
beaten
after I
a
saw
lot.
That's
the movie
true.
Jobs,
I've seen those
it-
movies in the
Steve
Porsche.
Jobs made me think of Stanley. Because he was like, he had the women.
Okay, now what were you
on stuff, and then
guys-
he'd go out and be
No,
like,
they're
I give
beyond-
to you
They've moved beyond
They-
you.
after
We've done pictures.
the Mac.
Oh.
And everybody's like,
So
Steve
Pete,
Jobs.
Ghostbuster Pete.
It reminded me of that.
That's how I usually look.
Ghostbuster Matt.
Ghostbuster.
That's awesome.
Oh, I cannot
The
go.
Ghostbuster
The hat,
song.
the hat
Let me
makes it.
see yours.
Yeah.
It's all about the
I
hat.
like that
It's a
one.
joke. Nice. I like the caption.
I don't have time to draw the spit shooting out of my mouth. Motion.
Like I hear a cat meowing, but then I feel like I hear a human.
There
meow.
are like
Is that
5
the
cats.
cat?
We don't have either.
You don't have humans or
Or cats. I don't know what you.